If you want to speak a language well, it's very important that we know the structure of it. A lot of people say, oh, you want to speak, you can just hear it and speak. No. You see, grammar is a basic, it's like putting the bricks together. Unless the bricks are not only placed in a building, but placed properly in a building, the building does not stand. Similarly, the word structure or structures first have to be placed and in a proper order. That is when we speak correctly and fluently. So, we can, to write a language or to speak it well, we must know the basic structure of language. We may not apply all rules of grammar, while speaking, but at the back of our mind, we must understand why we are speaking. We should speak the way we do. So, grammar names the types of words and word groups that make up sentences in a language, and those are the figures of speech. We have studied basic grammar, so we'll just revise the grammar now that you do. Most of it you will know, but we'll just go into a little more detail. Now, besides knowing the name of the part of speech, it's very important to understand its role, how it is used. Like we have studied the case of nouns in a previous class. So, we will revise the case of nouns and let us observe how the case of noun, case of the same noun, Bina, changes in different sentences. Now, in the first sentence we have, Bina wrote a letter. Now, who wrote a letter? Bina wrote a letter. So, who's the subject? We are talking about Bina. So, Bina is in the subject position. So, that is why it's in the nominative case. Whenever the noun is in the subject position, it is said to be in the nominative case. You nominate a person. You nominate a subject. Now, Sonam wrote a letter to Bina. Who wrote a letter? Sonam. So, we are not talking about Sonam. Sonam is actually the subject. But Bina now has moved to the object position. So, when a noun is in the object position, it is said to be in the accusative case. Now, what you have to remember is when you accuse somebody, so you are the subject, you are accusing somebody. So, that somebody is the object. So, that is why remember with this word accusative case. You nominate the subject, but you accuse the object. Okay. The third is Bina's letter was well written. So, Bina's is apostrophe S. That means the letter belonging to Bina. That means who possesses the letter? Bina. So, Bina now is in the possessive case. It shows possession. Bina, write the letter quickly. Now, I am addressing Bina. You. So, since I am addressing Bina, the noun when it is the person addressed, it is said to be in the vocative case. Now, Sonam gave Bina the letter to post. Now, Sonam is a subject. Sonam gave a letter to post. Now, when you say Sonam gave a letter to post, in a sentence like that, the listener will ask, Sonam gave a letter to post? Give whom? So, we say Sonam gave Bina a letter to post. So, that means Bina becomes the indirect object. Direct object is the letter. The letter is the direct object. Subject is Sonam. Now, Bina has become the indirect object. When the noun is in indirect object position, it is said to be in the dative case. Now, my friend wrote a letter to me. If I say this, my friend wrote a letter to me, it's perfectly okay. But you don't know which friend. So, when I say my friend Bina wrote a letter to me. So, it is conveying, it's describing the noun. Noun is my friend. Friend is the noun, is in the subject. Now, Bina is describing friend. Which friend? Bina. So, my friend Bina wrote a letter to me. The noun is said to be in the apposition, not opposition. It's not opposite. It is apposition because it describes a noun. So, where the noun is placed, we have learned nouns. We learned that it's a naming word. But if I say, what is Bina? Bina is a noun. Now, what is the case of the noun, what is the usage of that noun, is described by the case of the noun. It changes with different sentences. Subject position, nominative. You nominate the subject. Then object position, accusative. You accuse the object. Then possessive cases, when the noun possesses. Vocative cases, when the noun is addressed. Dative cases, when it is the indirect object. And when it describes a noun, it is noun in apposition. The same word may become a different part of speech. Now you see, the same word has a different case in these sentences. But now one word may become a totally different part of speech in a different sentence. Now we take a sentence like, Pooja hurt herself while chopping vegetables. Now you've studied that the self, herself. Pooja hurt whom? Herself. So it's reflecting back on her. So it is a reflexive pronoun. That same herself, Pooja herself did all the cooking. So now it emphasizes the noun. So it is an emphatic pronoun. If I say Pooja did all the cooking, it's a simple sentence. Pooja did all the cooking. Now when I say Pooja herself did all the cooking, I'm emphasizing that Pooja did the cooking. No one else helped her. So then it is a emphatic pronoun. Now this house is beautiful. Which house? This house. So it is an adjective. It is a demonstrative adjective. This is my house. Now this now becomes a demonstrative pronoun. It is used instead of the house. So it becomes a demonstrative pronoun. Now one apple out of the lot was rotten. So number is telling us about the apple. So it is an adjective. One of us should take part in the race. Now it becomes one of us. We are not naming, instead of the noun, one of us is actually a noun. But we are substituting the noun. So it's a pronoun. And since it doesn't talk of a particular noun, it is an indefinite pronoun. Who is waiting for you there? Now who is substituting the name of the person. So it is an interrogative pronoun. It's a pronoun because it's substituting the name of a person. Interrogative because it's asking a question. The man who is waiting for you is my cousin. Which man? That man who is waiting for you. So it is a relative pronoun. Now when I say run and open the door, run is an action. So it is a verb. I want to go for a run. Now I want to go for what? The question what is answered by the noun. So it is a noun. Give me a round tablecloth. You're describing the tablecloth. So the word round is an adjective. Should we play another round of chess? Another what? Another round. So that is why it is a noun. He walked round the building to look at her. So it's telling us the position of his walking. He walked round the building to look for her. So now round becomes a preposition. Look round the room. You might find it. Now look where? Round the room. So look, it's qualifying look. So it's an adverb. What is your name? Pronoun. What time is it now? What kind of time? So it is an adjective. What? You actually beat him. It becomes an interjection. So the same word can be a different part of speech. That is why we do not qualify words with part of speech. We don't say, what, you can't ask what is what. What is what? No. How it is used depends on how it is used. If it is used as what is your name, it's a pronoun. If it is used, what time is it now? It's an adjective. What? You actually beat them is an interjection. So that is why we do not qualify any word with part of speech. It's wrong to ask what part of speech is this unless it is in a sentence.